What's up, my Central Unit? Is the Sentiment here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. This time going to review Armageddon 2002 at the Office Depot Center. Right now it's called the FLA Live Arena in Sunrise, Florida on the 15th of December 2002. The attendance of the show is 9,000. Armageddon 2002 received about 335,000 pay-per-view buys, downgrade than the last Armageddon show I reviewed last time on this channel. That is Armageddon 2000. The main event of that show was the six-man Hell in a Cell match. That was the final Armageddon show under the WWF name. That show received about 465,000 pay-per-view buys. This is the first Armageddon show under the WWE name and the first Armageddon show since the start of the brand split. The reason why I say the first Armageddon pay-per-view under the WWE name, because they didn't do one in 2001, because they did the first Vengeance show instead, because the events of 9/11 of that year in September. So that's the reason why they moved Armageddon till 2002 and did Vengeance instead. The Vengeance show, that's memorable for Jericho becoming the Undisputed Champion, beat both Stone Cold and The Rock on the same night to unify both the WWF and WCW World titles together. Anyway, so the commentators for the show, we talk about Armageddon 02. For Raw, we got Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. For SmackDown, we got Michael Cole and Taz. So before we get to the actual matches on the show, we got two segments. The second segment was John Cena's rap, because at the time he was doing the whole rapping gimmick, because he debuted in June on SmackDown as the Ruthless Aggression guy. His first match in the company was against Kurt Angle. He lost. He was not really getting over. He was kind of like a cookie cutter babyface. He's just this jacked up guy, because Cena always has like this good physique. On a, I think it was the Halloween episode of SmackDown, I think Cena was dressing up like I thought it was Elvis, but he's actually dressed up like Vanilla Ice. He was rapping. I think he said, also in that Ruthless Aggression era documentary, Cena almost got released. I'm glad he come up with a character that really got him over, like doing the raps. He became the company's megastar. Yeah, he gets shoved down our throats, burying talent. I don't want to get into it. Become a multiple-time world champion in his run in the companies. Right now he's doing movies. That was later on this show. The first segment is Don Marie and Al Wilson. This is still in a storyline between this rivalry between Don Marie and Tori Wilson, revolve around Tori Wilson's dad, Al Wilson. At this moment in time, Don and Al got engaged, so they had this segment on the show of Dawn inviting Tori to go to her hotel room. She made Tori drink a glass of champagne, eating a strawberry, and strip. She was wearing this black she was wearing a black leather jacket or something. Yes, I think it was a black leather jacket. She was wearing like red undergarments, like red bra, red underwear, and she was they end up did a lesbian kiss, and the fans were really cheered. They got really a good reaction. I thought this was going to be killing time, because I'm not a big fan of segments on pay-per-views, because it came off like a segment you probably see on a weekly wrestling show. But I think that kind of serve a purpose, even though the storyline between Tori Wilson, Al Wilson, Don Marie was a clusterfuck. But sex sells, because for young wrestling fans, if you don't know, the Ruthless Aggression era is the continued period of the Attitude era. I think at this moment in time, because since WCW went out of business, they're trying to compete with other shows like popular shows like Jerry Springer or Judge Judy. But yeah, I think the segment kind of served a purpose. The fans, in Sunrise, Florida, kind of cheered, got like kind of react to it, and every time like Al said stop the footage, they boo Al Wilson. I think they called Al an asshole because he's trying to like defend his daughter's dignity because I feel like Don Marie called her Tori Wilson. She's nothing more than a sexual predator. I'm not gonna crap on it that much, in my opinion, but I think they told a good story. It was just it was a good segment. It's sex sells. It was a mixed bag, but for me, I kind of, I see him kiss. It was cool. You're never gonna see this segment in today's professional wrestling product, whether it's WWE or AEW. I think like the one person, I think like I think the two wrestlers doing these lesbian type of gimmicks are Lisa Marie Ferran, Victoria, the future Tara, and even right now Ty Conti, Ty Mello. She was, a great example. I think it was at Revolution, or I think it was Revolution. This year, it's about 2022, the year right now, she kissed Jade Cargill. So yeah, you're not gonna see these edgiest storylines in professional wrestling today, modern professional wrestling products, whether it's WWE or AEW doing it, because you have to cater their sponsors. It's just what it is. It's a damn shame that Tori Wilson is not on this show because she is the poster girl of this pay per view. It's just what it is. So this is set up yeah, they went on to get married and killed off Al Wilson because Al Wilson died in real life. This was years later, but he got killed off in a kayfabe heart attack. So it led up to Tori and Don fought at the Royal Rumble the following month in a stepmother versus stepdaughter match, and Al Wilson died in kayfabe. So yeah, well, I think the reason why they're doing that because the storyline went too long. It was kind of goofy, but seeing like Dawn and Tori kissing, it make up some kind of edgy television. So I'm not gonna bash it, but it was sex sells. Next time WWE did like an edgier sex angle is Edge and Lita having sex on live TV. They're on the bed in the ring having sex. Sex sells, man. It's a shame they're not going to go in that direction in today's professional wrestling because they have to cater their sponsors. So, anyway, let's talk about the matches on the show. So, the first match to kick off Armageddon 2002. This is a fatal four-way tag team elimination match for the World Tag Team Championship. So, we got Chris Jericho and Christian defending the belts against Booker T and Goldust, William Regal and Lance Storm, and the Dudley Boys. The Dudleys reformed at Survivor Series the previous month. So this is their first pay-per-view match back as a tag team because, yeah, Bubba and Spike stick together because they broke up via the draft in March of that year. And Devon went to SmackDown, did the Reverend gimmick, didn't really got over, introduced Batista, by the way. So it was the right decision to have Devon and Bubba reformed. Bubba Ray is the future Bully Ray or future Brother Ray in TNA. That was years later. So, anyway, so this revolved around the Dudleys and Jericho and Christian because there was one segment on Raw. You had the Dudleys stealing Jericho and Christian's clothes. They grabbed like a jar of ice cream. I don't want to get into that. I think they were teasing line that it's Christian's ice cream. I think it was Jericho's ice cream. That's the reason why Jericho's like keep calling like his opponents ass clowns. Anyway, so that's I don't want to get into it. So Regal and Lance Storm, they're like the last two survivors of the Un-Americans facing their former partner Christian, who used to be part of the Un-Americans, but yeah, they got broke up after the group got too much heat because the plan's trying to burn the American flag. But yeah, they holding the gimmicks, holding the American flag upside down, so they ditched the gimmick. So Jericho and Christian, Christian teamed up with Jericho, went on to win the tag team titles. Tess don't know what happened to Tess. I think Tess got hurt. Yeah, and Regal and Lance Storm, this time not carrying the American flag upside down. They're carrying their own flags because Regal's waving the British flag, Lance Storm waving the Canadian flag. It's for the best. So anyway, the first half of this match was a bit rushed. The first team got eliminated was the Dudleys. I think the Dudleys hit. I think it was Christian with the 3D because Christian and the Dudleys has history because going back to the TLC days. Yeah, Lance Storm did like a leg drop off the top rope, and then Regal trying to pin Bubba Ray, but Bubba Ray trying to counter it, but Regal countered back, hold the tights for the first elimination. Then Goldust eliminate Regal and Storm after I think Goldust rolled up Regal. And yeah, the final two is Jericho, Christian, Booker T, and Goldust. By the way, they fought at No Mercy 2 months prior, and this is the first pay-per-view match. They officially call it the World Tag Team Titles because at No Mercy they just call it the old WWE Tag Team Titles because I'm glad they changed names because it's getting confusing because SmackDown got their own WWE Tag Team Titles. Right now I think it's the Undisputed Tag Team Titles. The future Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Titles. Anyway, so the final two were, like I said, Jericho, Christian, Booker T, and Goldust. It was back and forth. I think Booker T hit Jericho. I think it was the scissor kick. He kicked out Booker T's scissor kick. Then Jericho, I think there was a referee distraction between Christian and Goldust. Jericho hit Booker T in the head with the tag team title belt and hit the Lion Salt while the tag team title belt placed around Booker T's chest and stomach area. Booker T kicked out. So in the end, Booker T hit Jericho with the bookend to get the pinfall win. Booker T and Goldust are the tag team champions. I think it's for the best because they were getting over. Booker T and Goldust, wow, they're funny as shit. Go and watch their videos, man. Them as a couple, like doing the wacky stuff, the movie reviews, like trailer reviews. They're kind of funny as shit. It's a shame they never reunited. It's a shame. Like a one-off reunion. Because I think they got good chemistry. It's a damn shame they broke off. I wish they remained as a tag team, but nothing lasts forever. So it was a good decision to put the belts on them. Jericho and Christian, it was kind of random because, like I said, Christian was part of the Un-Americans. The faction was like disbanded, so because Christian was not doing anything at the time, so he teamed up with Chris Jericho. Jericho's also was not doing anything at the time. Jericho's look was a bit odd. He had that beard. It was so scruffy. He grows a good beard over the years, like the facial hair he had in 2008 and 2016, and a little bit in like Rhino in AEW. But back then he looks scruffier, his facial beard. But Christian, his look is so outdated with the long hair and the singlet. The following year, you end up ditching the singlet and the long hair. The Christian you see right now with the short hair and the C's, he on his tights. We end up becoming like the leader of the Peeps, the Captain Charisma, Instant Classic. You call whatever you call him. So anyway, that was a good opener to kick off the pay-per-view. So after that, the show's starting to go downhill, falling off the cliff. So the second match of the show, we got Edge taking on A-Train, formerly known as Albert. So this is his first pay-per-view match. He's been in the company for years, Albert, but this is the first pay-per-view with his new character. For weeks now, he's hitting his opponents with chairs. Like, he injured Rey Mysterio's knee while hitting Mysterio in the knee with the chair. He injured Edge's knee, so that's the build-up to this. The match was okay. It wasn't terrible, but wasn't going to be a 4-star classic. It was an okay match. It was back and forth. They got good timing, but I think the DQ broke down a bit. You build an A-Tray up, but he kind of hit Edge with the chair, and then Edge got his revenge onto A Train, hitting A Train with the same chair. That was it. So I think this is Edge's one of his last pay-per-view matches because of the neck injury he will sustain, because he'll he'll compete in the 2003 Royal Rumble match the following month, and then originally was supposed to be in this six-man tag team match, but instead he was like ruled off, like the beatdown by team angle to get surgery. You won't see Edge again until 2004. He went on to have a good main event career, went on to win the first Money in the Bank ladder match, and become a multiple time world champion. That's match number 2. By the way, there's 7 matches on the card. So match number 3, we got Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero. Eddie and Chavo Los Guerreros won the WWE Tag Team titles from Edge and Rey Mysterio the previous month at Survivor Series. Both Benoit and Eddie Guerrero will compete in that Fatal 4-Way elimination match. I'll get to a other match on the show later on. So this is, they fought for years now, and also the former members of the Radicals. The match was really one of the best matches of the night, to be honest. I really enjoy this match. I think both Benoit and Guerrero had some good chemistry. It's damn shame neither men are no longer with us today, because Benoit, but Eddie died in 2005. Benoit did the whole double murder suicide in 07, 2 years later. So it's a shame neither are no longer with us, and they're both I think they're the same age. They're both born in 1967. So at the time they were in their mid 30s. They went on to have winning world titles in WWE. So it was back and forth between Benoit and Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero. Actually, it was Benoit got the victory. I'm trying to remember it. Chavo got involved. Yeah, he got involved in this match. Benoit. You had hitting Benoit in the head with the tag team title. And then I think he got involved trying to push Benoit. Benoit was going for like his traditional diving headbutt, but he kicked Chavo off the ring apron. He took that bump onto the top rope. He took a wacky bump. Chavo is. He kind of Eddie was working on the leg of Benoit. And like some portion of the match, working on like locking in the what's it called, the lasso from El Paso. Trying to make Benoit tap out, but Benoit reached the ropes. He managed. I think Benoit kicked out from Eddie's frog splash off the top rope. I think he managed to hit the diving headbutt. In the end, Benoit managed to make Eddie tap out with the cripple crossface to win this match. The fight. It's funny. 1 year later, they end up fighting. They were in the finals of the United States Championship tournament at Vengeance the following year. Eddie went on to win that, and I think the last match they fought 1-on-1 was at 1x10.05. That was one of Eddie Guerrero's final matches on pay-per-view before his death in November of that year. So I think it was the second best match of the night. We'll get to another match I'll talk about later on. So yeah, it was a good match. It's not. I think it's less necessary to have Chavo get involved, because I don't know, because I get there were former I think they had chemistry before, in Mexico, and they had a short run in ECW. They had run in WCW. Was it the Filthy Animals versus the Revolution, and then they went to the WWF, part of the Radicals, and then and then the rest is history. So yeah, there's 7 matches on the card. So that's match number 3. Match number 4. We got we got Kane taking on Batista. This is Batista's first pay-per-view match since he debuted. He debuted at Judgment Day in May of that year with Ric Flair in his corner. This time he's on the Raw brand. He was on the SmackDown brand when he's debuted as the Deacon. Now he's just Batista's. This is before he's part of Evolution, by the way. So this match sucked. I think this is the worst match of the night, in my opinion, because Batista was not the ring general he will become in later years. He was a bit green. There's one moment of the match. He was going for a power bomb, but he's trying to get the tin. He didn't really got the technique right. He's struggling to hit King with a power bomb, but he struggled, so it was awkward as fuck. Ric Flair didn't really help this match. He got involved a lot, so trying to keep it short and simple. In the end, Batista hit the future Batista bomb onto Kane for the win. That was match number 4. Match number 4. There were 7 matches, by the way. I looked it up on Wikipedia. So, yeah, it was just getting Batista over. Kane lost so much momentum since the whole Triple H feud in October. The whole Katie Fix storyline. Wow, there were a lot of crappy storylines in 02. The start in the Ruthless Aggression era. Triple H, Kane, Katie Fick, Tori Wilson, Don Marie, Al, the Don Marie, Al Wilson storyline on SmackDown. Wow, man, that's Ruthless Aggression era, folks. Not all Ruthless Aggression era moments are bad. You have some good moments, but like some of them are so stupid, man. It's just I don't want to get into it, so. So the next match, this is the second of 5. I think it's second of 3 championships because the first one was for the World Tag Team Championships. This was for the Women's Championship. By the way, the IC title was gone. Yeah, they brought it back the following year. It's a bit of a note. Anyway, so the next match, this is a triple threat match for the Women's Championship. Victoria defending her title against Trish Stratus and Jacqueline. Victoria won her first of 2 championships, in her run. She won the title against Trish at Survivor Series. It was a hardcore match. Then Jacqueline beat the women's champion to get a shot at the women's title on this show. The match was okay. This was an okay match. It wasn't really. It was an okay match. At this moment in time, you had this storyline between Victoria and Stevie Richards. Because at the time, I think Victoria's character is this type of. Got this lesbian overtone. So Stevie Richards is her squeeze. I have to describe it. So. Anyway, it was an okay triple threat match. It didn't have enough time. It wasn't bad. There've been bad ones, but in the end, you had Trish. I think Trish hit hit Jacqueline some kind of move or something. I can't remember. Victoria hit Trish with the women's title belt. Throw her out of the ring, pins Jacqueline for the win. That was just it. It makes the right call because she just won the title at Survivor Series. I think she dropped the title to Trish at I think it was WrestleMania 19 in March of the following year, so it's just what it is. So moving on to match number 6. Like I said, 7 matches on the show. It's not 8 because one of them was a match on Heat. Anyway, so the next match, we got Brock Lesnar. Sorry, not Brock Lesnar. We got the Big Show with Paul Heyman in his corner, defending the WWE Championship against Kurt Angle. At Survivor Series the previous month, Big Show defeat Brock Lesnar in his first pay-per-view or first WWE match loss since his debut with the company the night after WrestleMania 18. So Big Show beat Brock for the WWE Championship at Survivor Series in MSG after Paul Heyman turned on Brock Lesnar. So Brock got suspended because he violated Stephanie McMahon, because at the time Stephanie was the SmackDown GM. So Kurt Angle won a fatal 4-way elimination match to face Big Show for the title on the show. So he like made Brock Lesnar to lift the suspension, so that pissed off Heyman and Big Show. Anyway, let's talk about this match. Big Show, Kurt Angle. I think this is disappointed. The whole bulk of the match had Big Show showing his strength onto Kurt Angle. I like the Brock Big Show match at Survivor Series. The reason why wasn't like going to be a 4-star classic, but it was two big brutes beating the piss out of each other. The mutable was it the mutable force versus the mutable object. I can't remember the face of this. It's basically two big guys beating up. Like I said, this is just like more between. It's mostly Big Show getting the offense, and it's really run. It was overbooked. The referee bump, run-ins. You had the run. You had Heyman trying to help, got involved. A Train got involved. This is the start of this relationship between Big Show and A Train, and led up to the Undertaker. Them facing the Undertaker at WrestleMania 19 the following year. I think Angle hit the Big Show with the Angle Slam. Yeah, I think that they didn't bring up Big Show Angle match from the year 2000 when Big Show dressed up like Hulk Hogan. Anyway, so there were a lot of like whistle blowing, outside interference. In the end, Big Show, Brock Lesnar, my apology. Lesnar, he hit, I think hit the Big Show with the F5. Angle pins the Big Show, beats him, and Angle win the WWE Championship. So, waste of time. It was just, like I said, overbooked, and most of the whole bulk of the match had you had Big Show getting the offense, and also there's one spot I forgot to mention this, so I'm going to talk about it anyway. One more of the match, Angle was going for the moonsault, and the moonsault was crap. He barely touched the Big Show, but at the same time, nearly landed on his neck, nearly landed on his head, man. Holy shit, man. It's not on the same level as Brock, doing the shooting star press. That's another story for another time, but that was just like clunky, not their best match. So I think they'd benefit, if they did like a triple threat match, because the whole build up to this is more between Big Show and Brock instead of, Big Show Angle. Because I wish they did a triple threat match, and also they took the belt away from the Big Show. I don't know what the original plan to have Big Show as the champion. So, Angle was like a babyface going into this, because at the last month's Survivor Series he was a heel. He was teaming up with Chris Benoit. This is set up Angle and Lesnar at WrestleMania 19 because Brock Lesnar went on to win the Royal Rumble match the following month, and beat Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19, regained the WWE Championship. Then they resumed the Big Show Lesnar rivalry. They had the stretcher match at Judgment Day, plus the SmackDown when Lesnar suplexed the Big Show and made the ring collapse. So that'll be throughout the rivalry of Lesnar in 2003. Big Show and Angle. That's really the whole feud for Lesnar. And plus the Undertaker, chain match. That's another story for another time. So besides that, I think it was a bad match, to be honest, in my opinion. Just too much crap. Anyway, so let's talk about the main event. So the main event, this is a 3 stages of hell match for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, defending his championship. This is the one and only title defense on pay-per-view, defending the world title against Triple H. Shawn Michaels won the world title at the first Elimination Chamber match at Survivor Series the previous month. And this has rekindled their rivalry between him and Triple H. It happens at SummerSlam when Shawn won his first match back, his first one in 4 years. Then he got written off because Shawn was wrestling in a part-time schedule. Came back at Survivor Series, won the world title at the first chamber match. So, the go home Raw, they have this brawl. Like, they had this brawl, the brawl in the car in the parking lot. You know, yeah, Sean did that spot, like he did that dive off the production truck and into a dumpster. Like yeah, Triple H, he's like basically got like this bandage around his leg. So anyway, so before the start of this match, you know, Earl Hebner, the referee, you know, kicked Ric Flair out of ringside. So he does show up later on in this match. So like I said, the first fall is a street fight. This was really good, man. Really, they beat the living piss out of each other because Triple H and Shawn Michaels had some good chemistry. They were fighting in the crowd. There were a lot of some portion of the match. Yeah, Triple H working on the back and knee of Shawn Michaels because Shawn Michaels had history of his knee and back. Locking him in the figure four leg lock. The fight in the near the ramp. Triple H. There was a spot with the barbed wire plank. I think Triple H going to hit Shawn with it. But instead he kind of put down the barbed wire plank. There was a fire. The sets got like covered in fire in flames, so he put it onto the flames, trying to hit Shawn Michaels with it. He got out of the way. Shawn used the barbed wire plank and hit Triple H with it. He bled. Triple H won the first fall. He hit Shawn Michaels with the pedigree and win the first fall. The second pinfall is the steel cage match. Flair got involved. You know, that really brought this match down. And by the way, this is the first free stage to hell match since the Austin Triple H free stage to hell match at No Way Out in the previous year in 2001. Flair got involved in the second fall in the steel cage match. You know, he got involved. He bled as well. Shawn bled as well. Shawn scored the second pinfall. He put Triple H through a table, and you know he did like a move off the cage. That was cool. You know, so let's move on to the final pinfall. The final pinfall, or the final four, is a ladder match. So who wins? This is a decider because I think it's Triple H's first ladder match he appeared. It's his first ladder match since his match with The Rock at SummerSlam in 1998. I think that's my only knowledge of it because this is Shawn's first ladder match of any kind since the Razor Ramon match at SummerSlam '95. So I don't know they brought like the Shawn and Razor's matches at probably the WrestleMania 10 match, but not the rematch at SummerSlam '95. I don't get it. So it was a bit shorter than the other two falls. Anyway, so Shawn almost about to win the world title. You know, reaching the ladder, climb the ladder, trying to grab the title, but Triple H pushed Shawn Michaels off the ladder, and Shawn crashed through a piles of tables. They like repeat this spot, you know, years later in the Edge Undertaker TLC match at 1x10 when, you know, like Taker was about to win the world title and Edge pushed him off. Taker crashed through the table, so Triple H reached the ladder, grabbed the world title, and won. So it was a good match. I think this is match of the night. I think people will piss on it a little bit because it was nearly 40 minutes, but I think this was a great story. I wasn't really bored about these matches, the street fight, the cage match, and the ladder match. I think they're really good, man. I think they're good chemistry. The fight in the next few years, you know, they took a break in 2003. They fought at the end of the year on Raw. Then they fought in the last man standing match at the Royal Rumble in 2004. Then they fought at Hell in the Cell at Bad Blood that same year, and then fought at Taboo Tuesday. That was their blow off until they reunite as DX in 2006. So Shawn never won the world title ever again. It's just a way to get the title belt back on Triple H. It's a bit disappointed why they did that, but you know, this is the start of the Triple H reign of terror, putting that stranglehold of the world title in that time period between 02 to 05. So I wish, you know, because Triple H went on to have underwhelming matches in throughout 2003. Like it's the two Baron matches against Scott Steiner, Booker T, that was kind of bad because he kind of buried Booker T in the process. Kevin Nash's match in Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood, that was decent. His match with Goldberg was disappointing as well. So it's kind of a what if Shawn retains the world title, it'd be good. It'd get the fans go home happier. Because he had went on to have a bad match against with better than Triple H at WrestleMania 19 against Chris Jericho. What might have been, because he had. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. He ended up he had that match against RVD on Raw. So it's just like it's a damn shame that Shawn never got another run as the world champion because he won the title Survivor Series, drop it on this show. I can understand because he's wrestling in a part-time schedule, but it's a shame. I wish to have Shawn Michaels retain the world title on the show and have a good run. That's the problem with Triple H's reign of terror. He said in his book that he's demanded a lengthy title reign. He held it until dropping the title to Goldberg the following year at Armageddon. So it's a show I reviewed in the past, by the way. So, but besides that, I think this 3 stages of hell match, it was good. It's a shame we're never gonna get one. We haven't saw a 3 stage of hell match for almost a decade since the John Cena Ryback match from I think it was Payback, the first Payback pay-per-view, almost 10 years ago. Wish they bring it back in the future. It's just what it is. Triple H is always undefeated in 3 stages of hell matches. Against Austin in 01, Shawn Michaels on this show, and then Randy Orton at the Bash in 09. So, and that was a disappointing. I heard about it. So, my final rating of Armageddon 2002, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. This is the problem with WWE pay-per-views between Survivor Series and the Rumble. It could be a hit. It's sometimes a hit or a miss. This is likely a slightly miss. You have some good moments on the show, but you have some bad ones. I'm gonna put the Tori Wilson, Dawn Marie segment. That was kind of fun, and sex sells. You had like the opener was fun. It was a fun opener. Benoit Eddie was good, and also the main event was awesome as well. But there's some bad on the show. The Edge and A-Train match was okay. The women's triple threat match for the women's title was also okay as well. But like I said, there was bad on the show. Like Kane Batista, because Batista was still green at this time. That was bad as well. I think the Big Show Angle match was also disappointing as well. It was just mediocre. It was kind of mediocre, and yeah, Tori wasn't not on the show. Brought it down, but it's not bad, but at the same time, wasn't a must see show. It was just an okay show to wrap up WWE in 2002. So. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed my review of Armageddon 02. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash like button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to this Central Mind Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos and more. And also be part of the Central Unit. And next time, this is the last pay-per-view of 1997 in this WWF in 1997 25-year story arc. So this is 1 month after Survivor Series 97, after the Montreal Screwjob. Shawn Michaels in his first title defense as the world champion against Ken Shamrock in his one and only world title match on pay-per-view. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about DX in your house. So this is Essential Man officially sign out. Check you later. And that's my review of Armageddon 02. This is a thumb in the middle of a pay-per-view.